Hello everyone, I'm Tara from the Vegans. Today we are making vegan lasagna, and to start I'm going to grind the Italian sausage. The reason we're going to grind it is because we're using also ground Impossible beef, and so you don't want a huge variation in texture, and this is the best Italian sausage on the market, vegan style. So I'm just gonna go ahead and throw the sausages in the food processor with an onion, and we'll go ahead and watch that grind. Watch it grind. Now that we're done with that, we're gonna go ahead and heat up our cast iron skillet. You don't have to use a cast iron skillet, you could use any frying pan. Put olive oil, and we're gonna go ahead and we are going to put our ground sausage and our ground beef into the pan to cook. It's gonna be a little messy. Just get it in there. Use your hands, get dirty. There are lots of different options in the market for vegan ground beef. I really like the Impossible. I've used all of the other ones. I like the Impossible the best because it's really hard for meat eaters to even tell the difference between Impossible ground beef and real ground beef. Here we go. Some Italian herbs, some chopped garlic. Just gonna mix this up, let it brown. It's important that it browns. Meanwhile, we have our water going to cook our noodles. So just a little backstory on why we chose lasagna, and that's because lasagna is kind of a big deal in our family. When we were kids and our parents got divorced, our mom, a couple years after, met our stepdad, Papa Dude. Papa Dude, the first meal Papa Dude cooked for us, which he's an excellent cook, was lasagna. I don't think we ever ate lasagna before this, but it was delicious. We loved it. To this day, we still love his lasagna. It's the best thing that he cooks. We always look forward to it for any occasion. And so none of us really make it on our own because we like his so much. But it's a little tribute to our love for lasagna, and we're doing it vegan style. So I'm gonna let our meat cook. In the meantime, I'll show you. This is vegan cottage cheese I made yesterday. I have some separate videos for it. I made it with round silken tofu and a few other ingredients and crumbled firm tofu. This is homemade ricotta. It's made from almonds and a few other ingredients as well. It's actually very good. I tried it. This is store-bought vegan Parmesan. Takes too long to make homemade. You have to age it. This is homemade from scratch mozzarella, made from cashews by me. Then we just have our other ingredients, the noodles, which we'll cook. And then I personally really like Whole Foods marinara pasta sauce. You can make your own from tomatoes and sugar and a few other ingredients. I prefer just to use the Whole Foods marinara. And to be honest with you, this is only $1.68 at Whole Foods. So not everything at Whole Foods is super expensive. And it's delicious. If you've never cooked lasagna, it seems intimidating, but it's really not. It's really just about having all your ingredients ready and layering it. There really is no special way to layer it other than just each layer is something different. You'll have your noodle, and your sauce, your cheese, more noodles, more sauce, meat, noodles, sauce, cheese, over and over until you fill it up. Stepdad makes it with grilled vegetables sometimes, which is delicious also. I'm not using vegetables this time. I'm doing a more traditional lasagna with just meat and cheese.
It smells good.
Smells delicioso. You guys like my green dress? I wore it specifically for McVegans.
Looks good.
Alright, lasagna is very simple. As long as you have all your ingredients ready, like I said before. You have everything ready. It's even quicker if you store buy your cottage cheese, your ricotta, and your Parmesan. As long as you just cook your meat or your vegetables, boil your noodles, you could really have lasagna in the oven in like 15 minutes. It'll take about 45 minutes for it to cook. You want all those flavors to meld together.
That's good.
Smells so good, huh?
Yeah.
We are now layering our lasagna. What you want to do is very important, put sauce at the bottom. If you don't put sauce and you immediately just put noodles, it's going to stick to the bottom. It's going to tear it apart when you try to cut it. So go ahead and put a good amount of sauce down there, like that. And then lasagna is pretty easy. I mean, you get your noodles, you put them down. I personally overlap them a bit because if you don't overlap them, what happens is that when you put your topping and you go to cut it, everything just falls out. So I give it a good like quarter, half inch of overlap. Just keep layering it. It's totally up to you. There is no like exact science to this. You can start with cheese, you can start with meat. It really does not matter. But remember to always put sauce after your noodles. Otherwise it'll be dry. It doesn't taste that good. So just kind of want to spread it out. Keep the noodles wet. Wet noodles. I'm gonna start with meat and just crumble it in there, spread it out. You're gonna kind of want it to be somewhat consistent as much as you can get it so that every bite, I mean, has like some meat in it. There you go. That looks like, in my opinion, a good amount of meat. Then you just start the layering process again. Like I said, it's, you know, the noodles are gonna tear. It's not gonna be perfect. Just piece melt them together as much as you can. There we go. Okay, remember sauce after noodles. Sauce. Be generous with your sauce. Nobody likes dry lasagna. Spread it out. If you have leftover, don't worry about it. Put it in the fridge. Tomorrow, make a little pizza with it. English muffin and some sauce and cheese. So now here's your cheese part. You're just gonna kind of want to put it in there. Really doesn't matter how, because you're gonna use different cheeses. This is your ricotta. Look at that ricotta texture. It's so good. Like I said, this was made with almonds. And then your cottage cheese. Kind of want to mix it up. Make it your own. Once it cooks, it'll kind of melt out a little bit too, so don't worry about covering every little part in here. There we go. Now, again, noodles. Now, make sure you do your sauce. sure your noodles are covered in wet. Mix a dry noodle. Put that down. Now you've got your meat. Okay, here we go. We're gonna keep on layering.
Oh, that's really good.
Until we can layer no more. This might be our last layer with cheese, and then we'll do more noodle, and then we'll top it off with our last layer of our homemade mozzarella. I know this is a misconception because I know I've seen people make pasta, and when they're done making the pasta, they rinse their noodles. Don't ever do that. Don't rinse your noodles. Any kind of pasta noodle. Don't rinse it when you're done cooking it. It's sticky. This is sticky. You want it sticky so the sauce sticks to it. When you rinse your noodle when you're done cooking it, what happens is your sauce just slides off. Makes it awkward and watery. You want it sticky. Sticky's good in this case. Here we go. We got our sauce. By the way, this is thick. So we're gonna have to put a cookie sheet under it so it doesn't make a mess in the oven.
Why? What would happen?
It'll boil over and it'll smoke up the oven. You don't want that. All right, so here we go. Last layer with cheese. Cheese it up. Here we go. Cottage cheese.
Wow, that's a lot of food in there. Do you think it will overflow?
Yeah, that's okay though, because we'll put the cookie sheet under it. Here we go. Last.
So you put that on top, and then you do.
I'm gonna do because there's some meat left over.
Oh, wow.
I'm gonna mix this in with this just so we don't waste it. Might as well.
Barbie says it looks delicious.
Mmm. Thank you, Barbie. Okay. There we go. It's already overflowing. Put last layer down. Here we go. Got your sticky noodles. Alright. Here we go. We're just gonna kind of add whatever
It's so big.
sauce we have left. You don't need a lot of sauce on this. You don't need any sauce on this last layer, to be honest with you.
You do cover it in cheese at
Yeah.
the end? Oh.
So, here we go. So now what we're gonna do, this is definitely gonna boil over onto our cookie sheet, but that's okay. That's okay. We're gonna put our vegan mozzarella. See, it's kind of stretchy.
And you made that?
I made that from scratch. It's delicioso. And you can buy vegan mozzarella. It's not really like...
How many packs of noodles did you use?
I used 2 packs of noodles, 2 jars of sauce. Really, you can get away with 1 pack of noodle. Unless you want to make 2 lasagnas. You can get away with 1 pack of noodle. I wasn't too sure, so I did 2 packs.
So much.
There we go.
Wow. So what's the degrees for the oven? What do you cook it at?
I'm gonna cook it at 350, just to kind of, you don't want to put it too much higher, or it'll kind of burn the top.
For how long?
We're gonna do 45 minutes. We're gonna add our store-bought vegan Parmesan to the top. This kind of just gives it a little toastiness to the top. Just use all of it. There we go. That. I'm gonna add some Italian seasoning on top. It's gonna make it look pretty. All right, I remember I said we're gonna need a cookie sheet. This is why it is like...
Oh God, how much did that weigh?
I'm gonna say 25 pounds.
Good Lord.
So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna just put it in here.
What's the temperature and time again?
350 degrees Fahrenheit. We're gonna do 45 minutes. Okay, we're ready to take the lasagna out. It is overflowing. So we gotta be pretty careful. It's pretty hot. Don't wanna get burned and we don't wanna drop it.
Wow.
There we go. Looks beautiful.
It's so big. That's so much food. How many people was this feed with like one plate each?
One plate each? About 12.
Wow. So you could have it for like Thanksgiving.
Yeah. Or a dinner party. Birthday party. If you could see. And poke around in here a little. It's like a nice little crust. Then if you lift the crust a little bit, it's nice and cheesy in there.
It's ooey gooey.
Mmm. Tastes delicious. So at this point, when you take it out, you're gonna wanna let it cool 20 to 30 minutes. And what happens if you don't let it cool is when you take it out, you cut it, it's gonna be so hot and slippery that when you take a piece out, everything's just gonna fall apart. So you wanna let it cool 20 to 30 minutes. That way everything's kind of cooled a little bit and has melded together. It'll stay together nicely. We are ready to cut our cooled down lasagna. Not too cool. Still gonna be warm enough to eat. There we go. We'll cut it. I like to cut the rows into three pieces. So here we go. We try and get from the end first. What's going to end up happening is it's going to be kind of messy. So we're going to get from this middle. Ooh, look at that. Look how beautiful that looks. Yummy. All right. First piece. Got our second piece.
It's really good.
Third piece. All right. Now we're gonna go eat it. Cheers. Now you know how to make completely vegan lasagna. Delicious, beautiful meal, probably with days of leftovers. Try it. Let us know how you like it. Mmm. So good.